Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Morgan, Wild West Garage. So I'm standing here beside my 1990 Dodge Cummins Power 3/4 ton. This truck has got I'm guessing it's got about 700,000 kilometers on it. I'm saying guessing because I don't know. The odometer gave up at about I think it's 527,000 kilometers. Doesn't work anymore. And the previous owner, he kind of estimated that he figured he put another 200,000 on it. So I've owned it for I think 4 years now, so I've put a few kilometers on it. I don't drive it a lot, but it does come in handy when I need a pickup. But anyways, you can see I've got something going on there with the quarter panel. Got some equipment down here on the floor. So I just want to show you what the issue is with this truck. It's the same on both sides. So surprisingly, this truck is very rust-free, really. The front, the cab, the nose, fenders and all that, there's no rust. There's surface rust and little, scabby parts on the doors and stuff on the bottom of the doors, but no rust, like crumbly, rusty, rotten rust. It's just all stuff that can be cleaned up with, prep work and, sanding and whatnot, sandblasting. But this is rusty, crumbly, rotten rust right here on the wheel arch. And it's the same on both sides. There's a little bit of rust in the box. I got a hunk of plywood in there now, but there's a fifth wheel. There's some fifth wheel slides under this piece of plywood, and where they cut the holes in the bed, it's rusted around there a little bit, so the holes have opened up a little bit. I'm not real concerned about that at the moment anyway. I just want to get this dealt with. So anyways, it's nice to be in this space again. I don't know if you watched my video on installing that door, but obviously I've cut the wall out because I got the truck in. But this shop, this is the original shop that my dad built on this property 45 years ago, I guess. And I spent a lot of time in here over the years. It was a woodworking shop. My dad was a housing contractor. He was quite the cabinet builder. He would build all the cabinets for the homes that he built. So that kind of work went on in here. And of course, there was other things that went on in here as well. We, from the time, I think the last new car my dad bought was, just trying to think now, it was a 73 Ford Cortina that he bought for my mom. So that was the very last new car that my dad bought. I think he had a 73 Dodge pickup the first year that he came out with the extended cab. So very similar to this truck. And then after that, my uncle got into the salvage business. So we would buy, written off vehicles and repair them. And a lot of that work went on in this shop. I rebuilt my first engine in this shop. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I used to have a bench right here, and on the wall back here there's a bunch of grease and splatter from when I was cleaning parts. It's still all there, so it's a little mark of Morgan on the wall there. But anyways, so I'm happy to be able to work in here. I'm kind of a nostalgic guy. So anyways, you can see on the quarter panel here that I've got the patch panel there already. It's just held on with vice grips. So I'm going to show you how I made that. I don't know how practical it is to make these. I could have bought this panel I could have bought two of them You get a deal if you buy 2 of them. I could have bought 2 of them for 160 bucks Canadian. So for you US guys, that's kind of down around the $100 range probably. But they didn't say in the ad what kind of material they used, how thick it was. I like to make stuff out of 18 gauge. It's just easy to work with. Well, it's not easy to work with. It's a little more forgiving. It's harder to form, but it's a little more forgiving when it comes to welding and grinding and whatnot. So it gives you a few more options. So anyways, let's get to it and I'll show you how it's done. All right, so the first thing we got to do here is I got to make a template of this shape right here. A chunk of cardboard. Can't get it up in there, so I'll trim it some more. Here. So as rusted as this is, it still retains the shape of this. It's a little wavy here, but I'll be able to straighten that out on the template on my piece. The other side's pretty much the same. This is what I call original rust. Nobody's messed with this truck yet, which is nice. Sometimes you get an old truck and an old vehicle and somebody's gone in and done some work on it. You know, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. But I always like the original rust. I don't really like rust at all, but it's gotta be rusty. Original rust is nice. So I don't want this moving around on me. That should be good. I'm only going to go to here with the patch. Maybe not even that far, but that's how big I want to make the patch, right down to there. So there we go. Alright, so this is the piece I'm going to use to cut my blank with. So now I've got to decide how much material I need here to do this job. And, you know, I think that I could probably get away with going to about here with the part. So I'm just going to make some marks on here. This is about as big as I want to make the patch. I'm just going to keep it consistent. So if I stick this on here, you can see that I'm shy of my mark there. This is a good reference right here. This is a good spot right there and right there. So when I go to cut out my blank, I'll make this line on my metal, and then I'll reference this point right here and this point right here. And I'll make that consistently that shape all the way around. Alright, so I got the pattern taped on here, and because I don't want it moving around, I can bridge those gaps quite easily after I pull the tape off. I want to make a nice mark on here. Just gonna extend my mark down a little bit here. And I'm gonna go like this, right here, right here. And I'm gonna do the same here, extend this down a little bit. So now I can pull this off. Okay, now I'll just connect these. Doesn't really matter anyways, because I'm not going to use this line. I'm going to have to put the pattern back on the back side, because I'm going to have a lip on here. And see, the original factory lip. See here, it's pretty much bang on 3/4 of an inch. I'm gonna make mine an inch, so I can trim it off after if I need to. I might not. So 1 inch. So I'll just make some marks all the way around here, 1 inch. Like this. This should go more like that. Yeah, I'll come back when I've got this all marked out and done. So I'm going to do the same thing on the top. See, I've got my bottom line all connected. So this is about 3.5 inches to there, about 3.5 inches to there. So I'm going to go 4 inches from this top line, just because that's I've got enough material here. Yeah, it's 4 inches right to there, so I'll just make it all 4 inches. We'll just do the same thing here. Make a bunch of marks and then connect them all up. So there's my blank all mapped out. Would have been nice if this could have gone out here, but that's okay. I'm probably not going to need that. I'll probably end up trimming this off closer to here, or even all the way, a lot of this might come off of here in the end, but I just want to make sure I make it big enough in case, start poking at that and realize there's rust where I can't see it on the surface now. I haven't done any poking on this thing, so there might be some thin spots down, past the obvious rust. Now that I've got my blank all cut out, so this is the outside of the blank. So nothing wrong with writing out on here. So out, and this is back. That's confusing. I'll just put an arrow to the back. It's obvious. It's going on this side, that's the outside. It can only go on one way. So, anyways, so now I've got to make this bend here. So that's the first thing I want to do. So take the template, put it on the back side. You know what? Now that I'm thinking of it, I'm just going to write front on here. Oh, I'm going to write rear. There's no confusion then. Rear up truck. I need to remind myself of things. Okay, so this, I gotta put this line on the back. So put it like that. Flip it over. And I'm gonna use some more tape here because I don't want this moving around. So I'm gonna mark it. I'm going to make a mark 1 inch there. 1 inch. Same on this side. So I'm just checking to see where my cut is closest to my mark. See, I got some nasties here. So this is all pretty close to my line here. And I'll make another mark in the middle. That doesn't look like an inch. It's 3/4 of an inch. So then position this on here so it touches those marks. want to make sure I get this line pretty nice. I'm going to be following it with the machine. Now, I haven't quite decided how I'm going to approach the actual shaping of the metal. This is the first time I've made one of these panels. It's kind of a truck, so I've thought about it quite a bit ahead of time. Little things. There we go. So, I think I'm going to use my bead roller to just make a bit of an impression on this, to get it, just as a guide, because I'm gonna hammer and dolly this over. You know what, I probably could use my bead roller to tip it. I think I will. Yep, I'm going to do that. So here's the setup. Top die is, I guess, what do you want to call the fulcrum, and this is the lever. Also the panel is a lever too, but maybe this is a snubber, fulcrum, lever. This thing going in the right direction, maybe slow it down a bit. So once I get it in there, I just want to drive off. I think I touched the camera. Anyways, so still going too fast for me. So once I get it in there, I want to start pushing up on it. Get my camera mount off my line a bit. Back up. Slow it down just a bit more. Slow and steady wins the race when it comes to this kind of stuff. What I mean by winning is having a nice part. So every time I go to move my hand, I stop it. That's the nice thing about having a foot pedal. It'd be nicer if it was a variable speed pedal. But I don't know, in a case like this, when you're pushing up on something like this, I don't know if I could stop it alright, so I could probably vary the speed a bit. Off my line there a bit. Back up. See, I'm already hitting the bolt, so I'm going to have to take that out. Okay, so you can see that's tipped that quite nicely. I'm just going to take this, because I'm pushing like this isn't going to, I don't think this is going to walk off. I've done this before, so I don't really need that in there. Now I can go for a second pass here and get it tipped up even more. Probably take about 3 passes to do this. You want to take it gradually, otherwise you end up making a mess of things. Of course, this is 18 gauge metal, so it's a lot harder to bend it. It's time to go to hyperspeed. Make the jump to hyperspeed. So I don't know if you noticed, but remember how I was marking this panel and I marked the template so I'd get it right? Well, I got it wrong. So I had a 50-50 chance of getting it right. Actually, I had a better chance of getting it right because I marked it, but I wasn't paying attention when I went to the bead roller. But that's okay, I can use this one on the other side, so I'm saved. So now I've got to straighten this out. So I'm going to do that by using this hammer, this crossbeam hammer, and striking it along here. And that'll expand this. I'll expand it out, and that'll start to straighten out. starting to go. See how that's starting to straighten out there now compared to this side. So I'll keep going and I'll come back and show you how it looks. So you can see how that's straightened out there on that end. I think I might have overdone it a little bit here. So I'll just have to shrink this. I won't worry about it until I get this end. See the difference now, right? See the hook in that? That's straight. So I'll just keep going on this end off camera and I'll show you the end result. Okay, I feel a little bit like a yo-yo. I guess when I cut this template out, I must have flipped it around, so I got it all sorted out now. So I had it laid on my metal this way, and it should have been this way. So it's all good. We're back on the left side. So anyways, so now I got to form this, I'll just show you on the front fender. I got to form this feature there. So what I'm going to do is, I just did this morning. Let's get this off of here. Yeah, that fits in like that now. So what I got to do is I got to put something underneath this to hold it up a bit, and then I can work this area down. So I'm going to get that set up and bring you back. All right, so here's the setup. Pretty crude, but it's going to do the job. So what I got here, so what I did was I held a straight edge on the straight edge. held a straight edge on here and I measured the offset from this surface here where that body line is to there, and it's pretty much bang on 3/8 of an inch. So what I did is I found I had this hunk of bar that's 3/8 of an inch thick, so that's going to give me my offset. And then on top of that, if you can see in here, I've got a couple of pieces of 18 gauge tin in between the 3/8 bar and this, I don't know, whatever this is, doesn't matter, 3/4 inch bar. So this can slide in there. So what that does is it keeps, when I hit this here, it just keeps this is keeping this from moving out of alignment with this surface here, and that's holding, this thing here is holding this in a square configuration. So when I hit it here, this can't, if I didn't have this and I hit this here, this might flare out, right? Because it's making this piece go like that. So this would flare out and come out of alignment. I want to keep this 90 degrees. So these two things in combination are holding that 90 degrees. So this is just these are just parts from a rock drill. I used to work as a heavy duty mechanic at a drilling and blasting company, and you know, I've collected junk parts over the years just for exactly this purpose, so I could build whatever out of it. And I built a sheet metal forming jig out of this stuff. So anyways, that's a chunk I cut out. That's a leftover bit from the 46.4 disc brake conversion fix that I did. So if you want to check out that video, you can see how I fixed the brake conversion on that truck. So anyways, here we go. I'm gonna set the camera up for you, and you can watch me form this part. Just using a rubber hammer, so I don't want a bunch of marks in it, harsh marks. So I'm just gonna run through and gradually form this. Of course, I tried it on a scrap piece first, just to test it out and to do some adjustments, and that's what I got there, so I'm going for it. Glove. It's if you had a Pullmax or similar machine, you could probably could have made it high to do this whole job. But I don't, so that's why I'm doing it this way. Remember to strike it in the middle of this, because it's making some funny marks there. I dreamed this up lying awake in bed one night. So much I love metal shaping. I think about it all the time. Now, I know I set myself up for something there. You can see this is working. It hasn't really distorted the panel at all. So I'm going to run this through a couple more times to see if I made some bad marks there. So I wasn't I was striking the panel off to the side a little bit. I need to keep right in the center of this whole rig, because it was catching on the corner of this bar underneath. So I'll finish this off camera, or on high speed maybe, and we'll see you later. So I think that turned out pretty well. The rubber hammer was just too soft after I did the initial pass with it, and once I got away from the edge where there's more strength, it just couldn't punch it down. So I have to switch over to this guy. I made this hammer a couple of years ago out of pallet wood. You know those blue CHEP pallets, the ones that say property of, I think it's CHEP. They got really good wood in them. I guess that's why they want them back. But anyways, cut up one of those, and good solid hard wood. So got a little bit more work to do on this, I think, but I don't know. What do you think? Looks like a reasonable facsimile to me. I'm going to try it on the truck and see what it looks like. Got it trimmed out a little bit. That's cut off the ends here. So it's fitting pretty good. It's out a bit, but it's trying to go in the same place as the other panel that's there, and it's sticking out quite a bit here, but there's actually a dent in the truck right here. This is all pushed in. I don't know, I don't think it's pushed in that far, but so I'll have to do, once I start cutting into the truck and fitting it, I can fine tune everything. But you can see see what that looks like. That's that. I'm happy. So I'm gonna chop it off here. That'll be it. I don't know when I'm gonna put this part in. Probably won't be for a while. I've got to get some other projects in here, get going on them. I just didn't have anything to post, so thought I'd make another video. So I thought this was a perfect opportunity to show you how to make a panel, and I've been wanting to do this for a while, so here we go. There it is. Thanks for watching. You know, if you had any ideas or have any ideas on how I could have done this differently, please comment. I need some feedback. Talk to you next time.